Hello guys, it's DJ Slope again from Slope's Game Room. Now this isn't really an unboxing video per se, but I do want to get this open so you guys can see it. What we're looking at today is the Funstock retro game system, one of those multi consoles in one system. It's something that I was looking at for a while, and Funstock, the people that have sent this over to me, have sent this to me as a review copy, so big thanks to them. There will be information all over the screen for you to go and check it out yourself. I do highly suggest you go and check them out. They're a fantastic company. I've bought many things from them in the past. Yeah, really good company. Now, they haven't paid me for this review. It's not going to judge my opinion or anything like that. In fact, I have looked at one of these systems before and I've got some pros and cons to talk about. We'll get to those as we go through. But yes, this is the Retrofreak console, and all I've done is just open the top of the box and then realised I didn't press record on the player, on the camera. So this is exactly how you get them. Get it when you buy something from Funstock. Very well packaged indeed. But like I say, we're not going to spend too long on the unboxing because I just want to show you guys more really about the system and how it works. So yes, this is the Retrofreak console, which is apparently a 12 retro game system in one. Is it really 12? We'll look at that in a minute. But yes, pretty awesome stuff. In my opinion, no, not arguably, it is. It is the best multi-system system on the market, in my opinion. I think it beats the Retron 5, all that sort of stuff. But yeah, so we open it up, and you got a little mascot character on the front there, which you can use to help calibrate calibrate it when you got it on. We'll show you that in a moment. And here it is. Oh, warranty. We'll put that aside. So when you open it up, you get that like there. Let's take out this section first. Oh, okay, move that over there. We have got, what's this? Okay, so this is the adapter to change it from a Famicom to an NES, to take the Famicom and NES cartridges. We have the Retrofreak controller, like that, which is the one they bring with it. You've got an HDMI lead, you never have too many of those. You have a micro USB lead, and over on this side you have the power plug, yes, the power plug, and all of the different adapters for you to plug it in all around the world. And on this side, now this is what makes this system very cool. This little device is to plug that micro USB into the front of the system, and it lets you play your Super Nintendo. I don't know what that one is. I'm not too sure what that controller is, but then you've got NES, Mega Drive, Master System, that sort of thing, and then all your PC engines, Turbo Graphics, that sort of stuff. And then obviously, as we look into the system itself, get that in there, and here it is, the Retrofreak console. It's incredibly bland looking, isn't the word, but you know, we're saying it's, what would you say? It's very minimalistic. That's the word I was looking for. It's a very minimalistic console, and actually the main beef of it is actually all in this little bit at the back. We'll get to that in a moment. But yeah, should we just get straight into reviewing this bad boy?
This little puppy is Cybergadget's chance at jumping into the all-in-one console market that seems to get a little bit bigger every year. And on the subject of little, just look at this thing. Smaller than a Super Nintendo, but obviously bigger than a Super Nintendo Mini. In my opinion, the system doesn't actually look all that slick. Almost cheap in fact. But that's okay, as I'm sure the vast majority of people buying this no doubt already have practically all of the systems that it can play. The Retrofreak isn't trying to be something it's not. It's an emulation system that thankfully doesn't take up too much room. And that's that. It may look as bland as the colour grey, but when comparing to something like the Retron 5, I personally prefer this. Stop trying to show off and just get on with the job, Retron. Also, not only is it smaller and cleaner looking than the other all-in-ones on the market, it's able to play more systems too. Which, let's be honest, is the real reason we bought the thing in the first place. Now, before going ahead, I'm sure you're all aware and most definitely have your own opinions about emulation. But if you're getting a system like this, then I'm guessing you're okay with it. The reason I say this is that not only can this system play 12 different retro console carts, but it can also play ROMs. Yep, you can actually copy your cartridge's games to the game's internal storage or an SD card. But it works the other way too. Download a ROM of whatever game you already own and play them easily from the SD card. Regardless how you decide to play your retro games, this system can play them all, and in my opinion, it plays them bloody well. Practically everything I chucked at this system worked instantly, and not only that, but they looked absolutely stunning on my 55-inch HD TV. Sure, you can do the same thing by plugging in an HDMI from your PC or a RetroPie directly to the television. That is after you download emulators, find the ones that work, and then restart them because you forgot to map the controllers. But that's not what this system is about. This system, it just works 99% of the time. It's made for people like me that don't really have the time to set up all of that front end stuff, mainly because I'm editing videos like this. Save the real systems for the eventual game room that's been in the works since the millennium, and use this bad boy as a simple way to play some of the greatest games of all time with practically no hassle at all on the biggest TV in your house. The only game it didn't play for me was a game called Coffee Crisis for the Mega Drive. But I know that game also doesn't work on the Retron 5 when I tried it at Larry's house too. From what I can tell, if you're going to be buying newly created games for retro systems, then there is a chance that they might not work here. However, all you guys out there that have pre-ordered Tanglewood, don't worry, the developer has assured me that that game will in fact work on this system. And also, my copy of Creepy Brawlers for the NES did in fact work perfectly. And it does look amazing. In fact, it even loaded up my bootleg copy of Wreck-It Ralph directly from the cartridge too, which, well, that was nice. If you have never played your favourite retro games on a new system like this, you're missing out. It's almost like playing them again. Never have they looked so stunning, pushing out pretty much perfect pixel quality graphics directly into your lug holes. Now, I'm sure purists out there will argue that pushing your original systems through upscalers or getting them modded at the cost of what this thing would probably be is the way to go, and if that's you, then that's fair enough. But this machine, just like so many others like it, is for the more casual consumer that just wants to take the hassle out of classic gaming. And for me personally, this is the best my 12 retro systems have ever looked. Now, 12 systems. I can see where they're coming from, but do you class these two systems as different retro consoles? What about these two? Or these? Yeah, me neither. It's great to know that the system is basically region free, but let's not kid ourselves. It's not a 12 system console. Well, not physically at least. But with that said, there is a hidden feature to this little beast that actually isn't promoted that well. If you chuck Master System, Sega Mark III, Game Gear or any other related systems onto the SD card, then this boy boots them up, no problem. In fact, there's an adapter available to get this machine to include the cartridges for those systems too. However, I don't own it. Oh, and by the way, if you own this, then that works fine too. So, that's the basics. What else is there to say? Well, firstly, if you really want, you can mess about with the graphics and screen size, like the majority of decent emulators out there. You can do this before the game is loaded, or you can do this on the fly using the home menu on the controller. Why anyone would actually ever want to do this is beyond me. But hey, turns out you can. And I suppose it is quite fun to try a game you have played a million times over, looking slightly different. Now, let's take a look at that controller. It's not bad. Yeah, it looks a little bland and obviously not as authentic as the real thing, but it's perfectly fine. In fact, it feels pretty damn good, and I had no trouble adapting to any game I was playing for whatever system. However, if you do spend a little bit more money, you can get the premium package that comes with this little thing. Plug this bad boy into one of the 3 USBs on the front, and from that you can plug in a real classic controller. At first, I didn't like this, as plugging your real controllers into the actual machine itself would have been my preferred option. That is until it dawned on me that if you have a long enough micro SD lead, then you can play all your retro games using the original controllers from the other side of your living room. Also, the machine works with PlayStation 4 controllers too, which is nice, and it even worked on a couple of random USB controllers I had laying around, although those ones did need to be mapped. Another feature that almost nobody mentions regarding this machine, and I think it's one of the best features of the machine, is that this little slot I showed you all at the beginning, you know, the one where I said everything is packed into here? Well, I wasn't joking. You can literally slide this bad boy out, take it round your friend's house in your pocket, and all of those games that you've copied onto the system's internal storage can now be played. All you gotta do is plug it into the wall and the telly. I don't really think there's much else to say about this system except that I love it. I seriously can't get enough. I could go into more detail about how you can move saves from the cartridge to the internal memory and back again, how the Super Nintendo Game Boy skins can be found on here, and that patches can be added to your favourite games easier than ever before. But finding out all of that sort of stuff on your own as you play around with the system is really, in my opinion, all part of the fun of owning one. Should you get this system? Well, that's up to you. If you, like me, have plenty of boxes in your attics full of games collecting dust, then this system is definitely for you. On the other hand, if all you care about is the authenticity of playing everything as it should, well, then maybe not. However, the Retrofreak is an incredibly close second. In short, if you want an all-in-one system, from what I can tell, this is the very best one on the market. Shoutouts go to Funstock for sending me a review copy of this system. Links are obviously in the description if you want to go buy one yourself.